Heavy sigh. It is 3 in the morning. A teacher sits alone, buried under a mountain of textbooks, staring blankly at her screen. She is exhausted, trying to piece together a single lesson plan. This is Priya. She teaches 8th grade science in New Delhi, and tomorrow she has to cover the topic of light and reflection. Normally, she would just stand at the front of the room and read the definitions straight out of the textbook, but the Ministry of Education has strictly outlawed that approach. As you can see on this chalkboard, the mandate is the New Education Policy 2020. The directive is blunt. Teachers must eliminate rote memorization and shift entirely to building deep, conceptual understanding in their students. The government expects her to produce a lesson that is interdisciplinary, learner-centric, and competency-based right this second, all without providing a practical guide on how to actually write it. You cannot effectively execute sweeping educational reform if your only strategy relies on working unassisted teachers to the point of burnout. Generative AI tools can do the heavy lifting here, but if you just type, "Write a lesson plan for me," the AI acts like an untrained intern, giving you generic, unusable fluff. To actually generate rigorous material, you need a precise control system. We call it the PTCF prompt framework. The P stands for persona. You have to assign the AI a master-level identity, commanding it to act as an exceptional expert in competency-based instructional design. By setting this identity first, the AI automatically upgrades its entire vocabulary and internal logic to meet official pedagogical standards. Next is T for task. You must lock the AI into highly specific operational parameters, like dictating exactly a 45-minute length for a single session class. Skip this step, and the AI will either hand you a 3-minute icebreaker activity or spit out a massive syllabus for an entire semester. When you treat AI as a highly specialized contractor bound by precise rules, rather than a glorified search engine, it stops generating noise and starts generating actual curriculum. The third pillar is C, context. This is your defensive mechanism to block the AI's bad habits. Unless you explicitly instruct it to reject traditional teaching methods, the AI will default to telling your students to memorize text passages. Context also forces the AI to look at the student's actual lived experience. We look at this busy Indian street scene to remind the AI to root its examples right here, instead of in a generic, sterile Western laboratory. The final piece is F, format. The AI needs a rigorous structural skeleton to organize its ideas, like the constructivist 5E instructional model. You cannot just name-drop the framework. You must force the AI to tie every step to higher-order cognitive goals, ensuring the learning objectives match Bloom's taxonomy. Let's see what happens when Priya runs this exact PTCF prompt to teach light and reflection. For the initial engage phase, the AI outputs a plan centered on this exact visual, glowing diyas used during the Diwali festival, using local culture to teach infinitely extending optical effects. Moving to the explore phase, instead of demanding expensive lab mirrors, the lesson instructs students to bounce flashlights off common household items, like stainless steel lunch plates, to observe light paths. By combining a strict formatting skeleton with localized contextual rules, an educator can force the AI to translate high-level policy goals into a rigorous, ready-to-teach reality. By 6 in the morning, Priya's exhaustion is gone. She is energized, packing a fully realized, policy-compliant science lesson into her back. She succeeded because she remembered the 4 pillars of prompt engineering: persona, task, context, and format. And she kept rote memorization out of her classroom by using strict context constraints alongside the sequential 5E format. But as she arrives at school today, the academic director drops a stack of papers on her desk with a brand new mandate from the Education Board. All upcoming multiple-choice exams must now use something called misconception distractors, incorrect answers specifically designed to expose flawed student logic. Priya now has to engineer a completely new AI prompt architecture from scratch to conquer advanced test design. AI does not replace educators. It empowers them to bridge the massive gap between abstract policy and everyday execution. If you found this breakdown helpful, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss Priya's next challenge as we decode the mechanics of misconception distractors.